Lucy, even Bulgaria's president today saying he's worried that Russia won't just stop at Crimea. A lot of nervousness amongst Russia's neighbours. Let's get the media reaction from the region. With me once again, Simona from BBC Monitoring and Lorna from our UGC unit. We'll talk a little bit more about what Lorna does in a minute. But first, Simona, Joe Biden in Lithuania. We've got a screen grab from a Lithuanian newspaper, online edition here. What's the reaction in the Baltic states first?
Indeed, Daniela, as you say, there's a lot of unease and nervousness amongst the Baltic states. For example, in Lithuania, there is talk about Russia perhaps not stopping at annexing Crimea. There's talk about who is next, perhaps suggesting it could be Lithuania itself. There was a really interesting commentary in one of the Latvian papers, again describing the country's army as an army with a fairly symbolic function up until now, and now suggesting that perhaps there is a looming military threat from Russia, that perhaps the army will be needed. We also had a look at a response from Central Europe. This is a screen grab of the Czech daily Lidové noviny. And there's a lot of talk about Putin's speech and reaction to it. And what I could gather from this commentary is that there's a lot of criticism of the West's response, suggesting that the response should have been a lot more robust, because basically they're saying Putin is doing what he wants. The ultimate goal of Putin is not to annex Crimea, but it is to establish Russia as a superpower which has the right to a fairly large sphere of influence, and this is making commentators very, very nervous.
Simona, you in particular have an interest in Czechoslovakia, or the former Czechoslovakia.
Indeed.
You grew up there, yeah.
Indeed. Yes.
Now, another country you've been looking at, just take us to the newspaper there. This is
a Georgian newspaper.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a Georgian newspaper. Again, a lot of unease and nervousness there. Obviously, people still have memories of the 2008 war in Georgia, where Russia de facto annexed South Ossetia, the self-proclaimed region there. So again, the West is being criticised. But commentators in the country are saying, look, Russia is laughing at you. They're laughing at the sanctions and basically mocking the West's response.
Thanks, Simona. Lorna, explain to us what you do. You gather up all of the information, pictures, content that people send to us.
That's right. So anyone who's sending us things through our website and also things that we see on Twitter and social media, we're looking at from not only the region but the rest of the world in general. What's interesting about this story is very much at the beginning, we were getting contacted from Kiev where the protests were, and now this story has become more on the world stage. We're getting a lot of commentary from people who are emailing in from the US, and they're saying, you know, we need to look out for Putin, this is quite worrying. But on the other side of it, people in the UK, for example, are saying that sanctions are probably not the way to go. So people in Crimea at the moment, a lot of Russian-speaking people have been tweeting us and emailing saying, yeah, Crimea should be part of Russia. And the reaction to Putin's speech was very interesting. I spoke to someone this morning who's in Moscow, and he said after that speech there was jubilation on the streets, people waving their flags.
Lorna, I have to throw back to Lucy, but very quickly, how can people get in touch with videos and other comments?
Yeah, they can go to the website. There's a live page at the moment where you can get the updates, and you can email us, haveyoursay@bbc.co.uk.
Perfect. Thanks very much, ladies. Lucy, it's back to you.